All right, you guys probably got a little thing on your thing.
Got it.
All right, guys. So bonus tribe coaching call today because we are coming upon the holidays, and I know that you all are like, how the hell am I going to navigate this? Some of you have been with me for a while. Some of you have just started with me. Welcome, Heidi. Heidi is new. Everybody say hi to Heidi. Like she's here.
Hi, Heidi.
She's in her. Yes. I know Heidi and I go way back. So I am so happy to have her here. She is also a badass beauty in the corporate world. She works for L'Oreal. You're still with L'Oreal, yes? Yep, she's with L'Oreal. She was with L'Oreal when I was with L'Oreal, but now she's like way up on the food chain. So doing all kinds of great things. You're in New York now too, right? I don't know how I just decided to have a conversation with you, but I think like, yeah, are you still in Charlotte? All right, I'm gonna get on with this call. All right, so listen, here's the deal. The number one rule about the holidays that I want you guys all to remember is to cut yourself a little slack. Have a little grace. So whether you've just started, you've been in the program for a while, the biggest thing is you have to not restrict yourself. So how the hell do I do that, Jules, and not fall off my plan? Well, the way that you're going to do this, and the best rule of thumb, guys, is first of all, as I said, you don't want to restrict yourself. So plan ahead. Think ahead about what you've got coming up, not just Thanksgiving dinner, not just Christmas, but like what are all the little occasions that you have coming up? Write them down, the holiday parties, get them on your calendar. The holiday events, the holiday dinners, what are all of them? And then start to manage them. Like, for example, are there certain ones that maybe you can just go and mingle, right? Maybe there's certain ones that, oh my God, grandma's bread pudding is like the best ever, Jules. I don't ever miss that. Okay, like there's events that just really mean a lot to you where you really want to be with the family and friends that you're with and enjoy the company. But there might be, and correct me if I'm wrong, but please let me know if I'm correct. There are some where you're like, they're just social events, they're work events. They're not necessarily things that you want to expend your, I don't want to say your energy, but you would rather hold on and go out, color outside the lines, if you will, for something else versus, I'm not saying this right, but you get what I mean, right? Like there's some, like, it's just like, you know what? I can just go there, say hi, socialize, drink my water, do my thing. Maybe, heck, some of you might be like, I'll just eat before I go or whatever. Like does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So do that first, guys. Organize that, because I guarantee you there's some in there that you're like, but there's others that are very meaningful for you. Those are the ones you want on your calendar. Now you want to plan around it. So that's the number two thing. It's like start to plan around it. Allow for it. And what I mean by that is now start to think, I just said grandma's bread pudding. I don't even know. I don't even eat bread pudding. I've never tasted it. No idea what it is. So where that came out of my mouth is beyond me. But anyway, we'll stick with grandma's bread pudding. So like now start to think about these places that you go. What are some of your favorite things there? Those are the things that you want to think, okay, well, I really enjoy this. And start to think about like the enjoyment level of it. Okay, so here's where the other thing I'm going to go to when I talk about the enjoyment level. It's what I mean about that is I have to veer away from the bread pudding because I don't really understand it. So for example, like you sit down and there's an apple pie and a pumpkin pie. I fucking love pumpkin pie. Like die for it. Like an apple pie, it's all right, right? So any other time, and I'm just talking sweets right now, it could be anything. It could be the stuffing in the green bean casserole, whatever it might be for you. But you look at those and think to yourself, because a lot of times we pile shit on our plate and we don't really like it. Does that make sense? So we don't want to do that, but I don't want you to neglect yourself. So think about the things that really bring you joy. I do this when I go out to dinner sometimes. Like, what is it that's really going to fill you? It's going to bring you joy. It's not something that you want to have just because everybody else is having. It's not something you want to have just because you should. It's kind of, this is going to sound weird, but it's like the ambiance of it. It's like part of tradition. So like, it's more of the ambiance versus the, ooh, I need somebody to mute, versus like the need to want to. And the reason why I say that is because we want to eliminate the all or nothing, okay, mentality, and really savor in what, not just what it's about, but really like the ambiance of all of it and really what it's about. Does that make sense? Please let me know in the chat box, like give me a high five, say absolutely, Jules, that makes sense. So that's the second rule, plan around. So what I'm talking about is thinking about those foods that you want. So now when you arrive there, you have a plan. And I really love green bean casserole, so I'm going to have a little bit of this. Man, I really love pumpkin pie, especially grandma's, or her bread pudding, or the stuffing, or whatever it is. So now don't deprive yourself of that. But now the other thing you want to do is fill your plate full of the good stuff. And don't fill your plate, I mean, like, put on your plate, but you know, put on your plate the things that are good, the lean turkey or the lean meat, the cleaner vegetables. Let's not talk about the green bean casserole, but the things like that that you can find, which you can, that are a little cleaner, like sweet potatoes, if they're doused in, you know, sugar and all of that. Yeah, but you catch what I'm saying. So filling your plate with a little bit of cleaner things and then taking tastes of everything that you want. Don't deprive yourself. If you want to eat the whole pie, take the pie, take a bite. I guarantee you, if you approach it like this, you will not hoover that pie. You will not hoover the green bean casserole or the stuffing, because you've allowed yourself the idea. So putting a little bit on your plate of everything. Jennifer, I think you and I already had this conversation. I mean, you did a Friendsgiving and you and I talked about this, Jennifer Green. Yep. How'd that go for you?
It went well. I did just like you said, tastings, but I have to say, like something like that, I always have you in the back of my head. But yeah, no, so I did just like the tastings. I didn't overindulge.
Yeah.
So
and
it did.
Enjoy yourself?
What was that?
Did you still enjoy yourself?
Yes, yes, yes. And I did have a bite of a pumpkin pie.
And well, you should. And I still think you lost some weight that week.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for sharing on that. So guys, if that makes sense, so that's part of what you really want to do. The other thing that you want to consider is, and this is important, you don't want to skip any meals that day. So now you have made, you know, on your calendar, the days that you're going to be doing these dinners. You know that Tuesday, Thursday, whatever day it is, you've got these events, and you know for a fact that you have, and you are going to have a meal off of your plan. Okay. That's step number one. We talked about that. Step number two, you know, this sounds ridiculous, guys, but fail to prepare and prepare to fail. You know really what you kind of want walking into it. The third thing is do not skip any meals that day. We have a tendency to go, well, I'm going to have this big refeed meal, or I'm going to, you know, we do this even if we're going to go out to dinner and coach is giving you a free refeed meal. We lost Heidi, so if you see her pop back up, as I have to admit her, let me know. We do this sometimes even when I give you a refeed meal. Your instinct is to skip the meals because holy shit, I need to make up for this. Not a good idea. Big X. Do not do that. Why? Because, well, I'm going to ask, who can tell me why you don't want to skip any meals? Anybody have the answer? I'm not going to tell you. You tell me.
Because then we'll be too hungry and we'll overindulge.
Boom, mic drop. Exactly. Exactly. You guys will be too hungry. So you're going to arrive. It's like going to the grocery store when you're hungry. Who's ever done that? Shit, you walk out with a huge cart, right? Like, damn, came here for one thing and everything in the store looked good. It's the same philosophy, guys. So if you show up at one of those dinners, or even if you go out to dinner and you've skipped meals, you're going to be starving Marvin and you're going to want to hoover everything on the plate. So here's the other thing about the tasting thing. If you have planned ahead, you've eaten every single meal and you know that one meal, just one, is going to be off plan and it's going to be whatever point in time of the day that dinner is, and you're going to have that, and you know that you're going to eat all your other meals even after it. So if it's turkey brunch or lunch, versus dinner, you're going to eat your meals after that too. You're not going to skip. So you eat your meals going into it, you eat your meals coming out of it. Make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. All right. This way, you will enjoy yourself. However, you won't overindulge. The other thing is don't miss on your water, guys. Drink all your water that day, specifically those days. Now, what about cocktails? People got questions about cocktails? Gonna have a glass of wine? Want to have a drink? Same rules apply, guys. Keep the sugar out. Okay, I highly, highly recommend keeping the sugar out. So, avoid the sugary mixers, the dessert wines, the champagne. Stick to, if you are a wine lover, stick to deep reds, Merlots, Sauvignon. I'm not a wine drinker. Sauvignon, what is it named? Yeah, the S one. Like those deeper, I know Merlots, the deeper reds, those tend to have less sugar. Some of your whites, like your Chardonnays, they have a little less sugar. So you want to lean into those a little bit more. There's a girl in the tribe that she does, she'll just mix it with, she tells me that she mixes it with like a seltzer. Now she's basically turning into what we used to call wine coolers in the 80s. But she likes to do that. She says it allows her, she feels like she can have more than one glass if she does that. That's cool too. But just sticking to, like I said, the less sugars. If you are more of an alcohol drinker, you want to lean in to like a clear, less carbohydrates. So that's vodka. Or white tequila is really one of the best. Now, tequila doesn't really seem to fit into a holiday dinner, but thinking about not adding in those sugary mixers. So that's like one of the biggest things you don't want to do. You're like, oh, I'm having I had one client go, well, I had tequila. I know, but you had a margarita. And it was the sugary mixers that you put on top of it that threw you off. So thinking about mixing it with less sugary options. And that's easy to do, or hell, just, do it straight up. And Jennifer, I know there's probably others in there like to drink beer. If you're a beer drinker, just keeping it to a lighter version of it. So just thinking about being smart. Now, and don't think about huge rules around this. So my biggest thing is the dessert wines and the heavy sugary syrup mixers. Okay. If you avoid that, you're pretty good. Okay. And then the other thing is you want to remember moderation. Okay. And I'm going to talk about the same thing. It's about understanding what's with that drink. Is it because everybody else is doing it? Or is it because you've had, and this doesn't fall into the holidays, well, maybe it does actually, maybe closer to Christmas time. Is it, and we just talked about this with Lisa, is it because I'm stressed and I think it's going to relieve something? Or again, is it the ambiance? Is it really what's happening and you just want to enjoy the moment? If that's the answer, hell yeah, have it. And I guarantee you probably won't want more than one or two because there's not really a need for it. It's just you kind of enjoying the moment. And honestly, guys, that's what this is about. It's about sinking into the moment of the food, the alcohol, but it's not about what it's going to do for you. Does that make sense? It's kind of like the environment. Yeah, if that's registering, let me know. Or if you're like, Jules, you're out in left lane and I have zero idea what you're talking about here. But if you do that type of thing, because I'll try to explain more, you are less likely to overindulge. Make sense? Yeah, I see kind of like looking off like, try it. All right. Now, the other thing that you want to do is like always, I like to always have a glass of water. So make sure you drink all of your water and then have a glass of water for every glass of alcohol that you consume. A couple of reasons why. One of it, you're going to thank me for it. The sugar, keeping the sugar out of the alcohol and drinking a glass of water for every bit of alcohol you have, you will thank me for that because it's actually going to take away your hangovers. Hangovers are because you're dehydrated. They're also from the sugar a lot of the times. You do those two things, you're probably going to feel very good in the morning, besides the fact you probably won't overconsume. So the water is going to slow you down a little bit. It's going to keep you hydrated. As well as, like I said, omit the hangover for numerous reasons, but the hydration part is huge because alcohol dehydrates you. So if you drink all of your water, your gallon of water, and then you have another glass for every drink that you have, you will be fully hydrated and you won't be dehydrated the next morning when you wake up. Therefore, you will omit bloat. Okay, bloat is the retention. So you'll wake up who's had this experience? You wake up the next morning, you're like, man, I'm jacked, I'm lean, I feel really lean. And then about middle of the day, you're like, you feel yourself growing after you've had a drink. So you wake up in the morning and you kind of feel like, oh, I feel pretty good. Not omit the hangover piece, but like you feel like, wow, I feel a little tighter because you're dehydrated. And then the minute you start drinking the water, if you had this feeling before, you feel like, oh shit, I'm the Michelin air tire. I start to grow. That's what that is. I see you nodding your head. So we've experienced that before. So if you keep yourself hydrated, that won't happen. So that's the other benefit of that. You're welcome. So those are some really key points to surviving the holidays. Now, I want to share my screen with you and make sure you guys all know how to log into the membership site and get into my recipes, because there are some fantastic holiday recipes in there that you guys, they're healthier versions of things that you can make or bring. So there are things in there that you, if you're bringing something, if you're making the dinner or what have you. And then I'm going to drop this because Jackie just reminded me that First Forum just dropped pumpkin pie recipe as well. That is using the protein powder. There is also one in my recipe book, but I'm going to open it up to some questions. You guys are not very chatty today. And if you don't have any, I'm going to start to share my screen too while I'm opening it up to questions.
My problem isn't the drinking at all, but my problem is the sweets, like the cookies or things that people might send to you. And so far I've been able to avoid it, but that's my downfall, is like any kind of sweets.
Okay. So based on what I just said, what do you think you should do?
Moderation. Take bites, think about why I'm eating it.
That's more like it, because they're going to come to you all the time, right? People are going to send you treats because they think so. I love that question. There's two things. So you have the right answer: moderation, taste it, right? Or, also planning around it. The sweets that they're sending you, are they your favorite? Or did somebody just send you some damn cookies that really aren't that amazing? Again, it's the same philosophy, Harley. You got to like wrap your head, because I guarantee you, even though you like sweets, you don't like them all. There's things that you really savor and enjoy. Did you hear what I just said? Savor and enjoy more than others. That is what you won't want to deny yourself of. But if it's like, for me, somebody puts an oatmeal cookie in front of me and a donut, freaking oatmeal cookie all day long. You can have your damn donut. You can put donuts in front of me all day long. I don't care. I actually don't have a sweet tooth, honestly. But I mean, the only thing I really love is oatmeal cookies. Actually, that's the only thing I like. Other than that, I actually can do without any other sweet. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, or dark chocolate. So again, plan that out. Then the other thing that I suggest, and this is up to you, but you put boundaries up. You have a plan. You have a goal. You have non-negotiables. People sometimes are nice. We talked about this on the last call in the Facebook group with Lisa. People will tend to lean into the fact that maybe you're skinny because you're losing weight. Let me feed you. Generally, that is because of an insecurity somebody else has. Don't fall into that. You need to be surrounded by energies and people that support you. So you've got to start to put boundaries up around that too, and be like, hey, listen, you don't have to tell somebody to shove it up their rear end, but I really appreciate that, you love to send me XYZ, but I'm really working hard, on this goal. And I would appreciate it if maybe this year we can kind of forego that. Like, I'm being serious. It's like sitting at the restaurant and asking him not to bring the bread bowl. Now I don't have to ask them not to bring the bread bowl. It can sit right in front of me because, it's such a non-negotiable, and I won't touch it. I have no desire. I look at it like I do anything else. But there was a point in time that bread bowl couldn't come to the table. Does that make sense, guys? So don't be afraid to put boundaries in place if you feel like you're going to have a weakness. Now, that being said, I'm also not telling you not to savor what it is that you really enjoy, but that's what's going to stop you from going down the rails. Okay, that's when it's going to stop you from the all or nothing. If you start to go, because now you're committing to the season, the reason, well, they gave it to me, Christmas only comes once a while. Things, does that make like you're surrendering to that? You don't want to surrender to that. And to be honest with you, that's not even what the holidays are about, are they? Let's be honest. If that makes sense, let me know. Did that help you, Harleen?
Yeah, it helped for sure. And I made it through Halloween, so I think I'll be okay.
So what are some strategic things that you could put in place based on what I just said? Like, have you thought about a little bit, like, what can you do to help yourself stay successful through these things?
Well, this year will be easier because I've already told a few people that like to send me food. Hey, that's one of my favorite dishes. I love that you do that, but I can't eat it this time. So it'll just make me sad, or, I can't do it. I need the help from you so that I won't eat it. So I've turned a few people down. Like they made ribs and they wanted to send me their ribs and mashed potatoes, and so I already did that. So I think some people are kind of getting the picture. And I also don't have a lot of events this year, so that will be really good. So I have like one Thanksgiving and one Christmas, so that will be helpful. And my boyfriend would bring home a bunch of stuff from his work party, cakes and cookies and all kinds of stuff. And I already did tell him, please don't even bring it because I don't want to eat it. So he knows not to bring it. So I'm trying to put a few things in place already.
Okay. Permission to coach?
Please do.
Okay, I like what you said. And I want to tweak that. You can have anything you want. You have to take out the word I can't. Okay. I want you to enjoy the holidays, so you can do whatever you want. Can't is a negative word, and that's going to put a lot of stress on you and could lead you down the wrong road. So you can. And remember, if you like mashed potatoes and ribs, have a little. Okay, that's one where you might accept.
That's not a cookie, so I can do without it.
Okay, all right. But what you did do very well, and what I liked about, who knows what I'm about to say that I liked really about what she said. She put a boundary in place on one thing that was actually very good, because that's just like an unnecessary thing. The junk
Her
food.
boyfriend bringing her boyfriend bringing home treats and goodies.
Yeah, that's a very, very good boundary, and I'm glad you brought it up. All of you guys, if you're tuning in to the recording, or, you know, those of you that are here, that is super important. Like, please tell family members, do not bring that shit into the house. That's unnecessary, right? And you can control that, like in your own households, but that I really like, Harley. But if that's your favorite dish and you really love it, don't plow through the ribs and mashed potatoes. So here's what you can do. If they send it to you, you put it in the freezer. I don't know if they send, you know, if they like to send it to you, and you plan it. I'm going to have this for one refeed meal on a special event or day that you have planned. Does that make sense? Like, not every single day, please. All right. Again, like, Harleen, think about what I said in the beginning. You have specific planned events. So maybe one of yours is, I'm going to enjoy this. Like, I have this event and I have this event. Or maybe you might get to the point and be like, I really don't want it. I used to love it. That also could happen. I don't know. But if it's something that you really, really love, work it into one of those meals or those planned events. Make sense? But don't tell yourself that you can't.
That helps for sure.
Good job. Anybody else have any questions? Thank you for the question. It was a good one.
Jules,
Yes.
I do. Okay, so my tradition every year has been I make Italian cookies because it's just been a tradition that was passed down to from my grandmother and from her grandmother. So so I normally will make cookies with my kids, like all different types of Italian cookies, and then that I would give those out as, you know, as Christmas gifts because that's what everybody enjoys from me. And so now I'm kind of like, well, what do I do? Do I find new recipes? Do I just make a couple recipes?
I think
Like,
that you should still do the same thing because I am a huge holiday baker, I am one to spend a whole day to make like 6 different kinds of cookies and spreads and to
Yes.
gift them. But I've always been just a gifter. So it's like Jules said, if that's something that you want and you maybe eat one in moderation or something, but still gift them, like people look forward to that.
okay.
Like I still plan on doing the same thing, but I've always been a baked good gifter, not really the eater.
Yeah, I mean, I would sample them, you know, because you got to sample them to see if they're good to give out or not. But I would always have a cookie jar in the house for, you know, my kids or myself or whatever. So, I mean, I guess I don't have to have that cookie jar. We could just sample them and then still gift them out.
Okay, I have two philosophies on that, but I have to ask some questions first.
Okay.
Okay. So I agree wholeheartedly. That's what I was gonna say. So Jackie took the words right out of my mouth. Do not stomp all over tradition. Okay. The other thing that I want to I'll talk about that in a minute. The other thing, the question that I have is, do you feel it's something that your family is going to truly like? Is it about the gifting and the making them with your kids? Okay, now what about the cookie jar? Is that just something, and I'm asking you this because this is a yes, like, this is like, do you feel your family needs and wants that? That's something that, or is it more about the gifting? Now, so like, now I want you to look at the cookie jar and how necessary is it to have that cookie jar there? Okay, that's thought one, okay?
Okay.
And then you got to answer that normally, okay? Or like, be honest with yourself. Now, there's an option of freezing some of those. And
Yes,
only
that's what I usually do is I freeze them.
when you
Yeah.
don't have them, so okay, now they're a little inaccessible. Now here's another thought. Lean in with me.
Okay.
It's your traditional recipe, but you play with another one that maybe has a little protein in it, and maybe doesn't have all the sugar in it, and
Yeah.
that's what fits in your house. And oh, bada bing, bada boom, the family just got a little healthier. All right. And that doesn't mean you dive headfirst into those cookies because hell, I made them with protein and I have less sugar. But now if you taste them, like you don't feel maybe is bad, okay? And I don't think that you should feel bad, but I also know you very well. So that's an option. And the reason why I share this with you is because one of the girls in the tribe, she's actually in the membership, she's not real vocal. Her name is, she's done a couple of lives with me in the past. She's actually, if you hashtag tribe talk, you can find her with one of my Eating with Jules. Her name is Jennifer Kabasic, and she's actually the one that made a bunch of these recipes for me. So her livelihood, guys, is baking the most sinful, delicious cinnamon rolls you will ever taste in your life. If you were following me when I was in Houston, I actually videotaped what I woke up to every morning at 6 a.m. because she gets up at 3 a.m. and she bakes and then she delivers, and pecan rolls and everything. Like, I'm waking up and Jesus, what's going on in here? And the girl is fit. All right. She doesn't usually touch anything. She's a gifter. She's a baker. She does it as a business. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because she also is very mindful of her family. She always has been. Okay. And I'm not telling you guys to make a shift, but this is just an interesting piece because I discovered this the last few times I've been at her house. So she does things because she's a big baker, and she's got 4 little girls. So this is like not a cinnamon roll thing, but it's the same thing. So I'm at her house and the kids are grabbing biscuits. And she looks at me and she goes, those are protein biscuits. Watch. Gobbles them all up. Like, Mom, these are the best biscuits ever. And she's like, husband, same thing. She tweaks these recipes. She also told me, so she makes some killer stuff that she even sells, not the sinful cinnamon rolls. I don't think she does it with them. Maybe a little, but some of the other baked goods, she cuts sugar recipes in half. So I'm getting this information. I had no idea. I'm sitting in the kitchen with her and she's like, oh yeah, I cut it in half. She's like, quite honestly, I think these are too sweet. She goes, people love them. And she's making a killing. Like, everybody purchases. So I'm just like, and I'm not sharing this with you just like so you get an aha moment. Does that make sense? Like, so one, she tweaks recipes that are in her for her family. Like, she doesn't keep a lot of baked goods in the house either, by the way. She does not. Cinnamon rolls out the door. Very rarely, special occasions only does her family get the cinnamon rolls. 2, she tweaks a lot of things for the family where she'll sneak in protein. She cuts the sugar way down or substitutes it for monk fruit. Or there's another baking one that she does. And honestly, I've tasted some of her stuff and I'm like, she gave me these. She's like, here, I need you to try this. And they were like, I think they were oatmeal cookies or some damn thing because I like them. And I took a bite and she's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I don't know, they're pretty good. And I kind of put it, she goes, Jules, they don't have any sugar in them. She's like, Jules, so they're all protein. She's like, I was like, no joke. Like, so I'm sharing that with you, Jennifer. I don't know if that helps. Only because I want you to think a little differently. I'm not telling you to do any of these things, but like kind of lean into what it is. And maybe you play with some fun recipes. What do you think?
Absolutely. No, I was already thinking about that too, because there's other substitutes like for sugar that rather than, granulated sugar, there's already, healthier substitutes, or even like applesauce, I think is another good one for like muffins and stuff like that. So, and then throwing some protein powder in there. Flours are the ones that I'm kind of like, I guess I could play around with some almond flours instead of, regular white flour.
I've baked with a lot of different kinds of flours and I've honestly never had any issues. One of my girlfriends was keto, and so all she can have was almond flour. So I used to bake her tons of stuff with almond flour. I use gluten-free wheat flour and all that. And I've really never had a difference in how things rise or how they like set. So I think you should be good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
And I think I was just going to say, I think she uses almond flour.
Thanks, Jackie.
Like, it's your choice. You can be funny. And like, maybe there's some family members that you think, and maybe you like spit a recipe and see if they see a difference. I don't know.
Right.
Well, you know what? I'm going to do this and see if they see a difference. So she has fun with that. She's like, I'm just talking about, she has fun with that. Or you just do the full, like I said, you have choices. And then when it comes to you, Jennifer, you just need to follow the same structure that I just gave you in the beginning. Like, don't deprive yourself, because if you do, I guarantee you, you'll open the freezer and you will hoover all the cookies in there. Okay,
Yes.
don't go crazy. Like, be smart about it. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So like, but absolutely, like I said to Harley, do not use the can't, do not deprive yourself, plan it.
Okay.
I know it sounds so freaking ridiculous. And you're like, what? But if you don't plan it and it doesn't fit into your meal plan, like, I'm not telling you not to live life, enjoy it. But that's the things that we have to do, because in the past, we put sacrifices on ourselves. We didn't allow things. Lisa talked a little bit about this in the Facebook group, like, you know, you wouldn't eat one day and then the next day you do eat, and all of these things it's the same philosophy we're talking about here. That makes sense. Please give me a thumbs up. Did I answer your question, Ditman? Now I've decided to call you Ditman too. Jennifer, do you have one that kind of looks like you may? Jennifer Green?
Thank you.
No, okay. Any other questions, guys?
I don't have a question, but I am just stoked on this call because I thought I was eating ground chicken and rice for Thanksgiving.
Oh no. You can if you want.
And
but
my
no.
mom is the one who always makes fun of me. She's like, "Are you having cod for Thanksgiving?"
You should be funny.
I
and
know, we need turkey.
It'd be really funny to just show up. And you know, that I'm actually glad you brought that up too, guys. If there's things too, I actually like that just made me think of something else. So like, if you love gravy, have the gravy. If you love, like, it's the same thing, but don't douse your turkey in the gravy. Why not have the gravy on the side? Like, continue to think that way. It's not like you're depriving yourself, but you're just like, who the hell needs the additional calories for things that maybe you don't? And that's another thing too, when I'm talking about savoring things, who the hell needs the additional calories for something you really don't like anyway? That's kind of like where I was going with this whole thing in the beginning, and it didn't come out of my mouth. If you don't fucking like it, why would you waste the calories on it? Savor it. I'm a little passionate here.
Exactly.
So think about it, guys. Like, really take this seriously. Like, and that, again, enjoy yourself. Enjoy it. It's a holiday, but think about where the enjoyment lies. Cool. All right. Who wants to see the recipe? All right, we're gonna.
I do.
All right, we're gonna screen share. God knows what's on my screen right now. So, oh, nothing. Okay, I've been like for the last 2 days. By the way, if anybody's doing the challenge, oh, we haven't decided that yet. I think, well, it's gonna probably be me today. Right after this call. Okay, where is my website? Let's do this. So guys, remember my website is, you should have this saved, getfitaf.fit. Let's get rid of that. Jules might have a new web designer. It's going to fix some of this stuff. All right, so you want to go to members. And, oh, did you guys know all of this stuff exists on your members page? Oh, that's
I
good.
have never seen this. I had no idea this was here.
Well, it happens to be in the very first email y'all got, but you all seem to overlook this. So here is all, this is just part of my members page. Some of this shit really needs to be updated. All right, so what you want to do is go to this one, members resources, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. This I gotta get fixed too. Yep. So you'll know you're in the right one because you'll get this funny little thing that's locked. So remember your password, guys, it's in your website, but if you don't have it or remember it, it is capital G. You're not going to see what I'm doing. The number 3, capital T, capital F, exclamation point. Somebody can type this in the chat. Capital T, so get fit. Capital A, capital F. Then here's the key. Everybody says that doesn't work. Did you see what just happened? Bada bing, bada boom. Oh. I don't even know what it is. Okay. I know I typed that right. G, okay, capital, that's black. Caps, delete. Oh, wait, no. J, 3, T, F, I, no. Ah. Thought there was an AF on the end of it. Here we go. So I was right, I just typed it wrong, okay? Get fit AF in all capital letters, except the E is the number 3 and the I in fit is the exclamation point. This is my old branding. So this is what's in your members page. You have, these are workouts that you can do at the gym. This is my Dare to Bear challenge. This is some additional HIIT workouts. Here's some ab workouts. Here's my salute the glutes. Here's some express workouts, 15 to 30 minutes. Y'all are always asking me for this shit and you have it all at your fingertips. My journal.
Seriously, I don't ever log into this.
Here's the recipes, here's the nutrition. Is everybody committed to like going in, logging in and saving this, please?
Yes.
I am in the chat box. I am committed to this, okay? You guys have tools. This is nutrition and meal planning. I think this is some of my, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna get, I'm pretty sure this is my Field AF guide. Okay, so here's the recipes. So go to the recipes. And it's going to take you to my Google Drive. And a lot of these were made by not me. Some of them are me, but some of them are Jen. So Jen came up with this. There's a quinoa sage stuffing. That is a healthier version. And she, like I said, the girl that I just talked to you about, I gotta move you guys. There you go. And let me move this. All right, so the girl, Jen, that I just talked about, she's the one who actually made this. There's not a lot in here, but there's some friendly, fun stuff in here. So there's a stuffing in here. There's a protein pumpkin pie in here. There are protein pumpkin cookies. The eggs and oats is me. Chocolate avocado pudding. This isn't even my recipe. I do a chocolate avocado pudding, but this is actually full on. She made this chocolate hummus. Ooh, what a fun thing to bring to a holiday party, right? And holiday orange cranberry. All of these are healthier versions of the other stuff. I don't know if I can get her to drop some more stuff in here, but when you open this up, you can download it. And she's given you a picture.
I think when you open it, it automatically like puts it on your drive because it's on my drive. So
then you go to it's page 1, where's there's page 2. So she gives you the ingredients, how to make it. Bada bing, bada boom. Kind of cool. I know you probably thought you were going to have a huge library in there, but, whoops, where'd y'all go? But it's something, right? She's pretty busy with her baking, so I don't know if she will add any more in there. However, that is where some recipes lie. If you guys have any versions that are really good that you want to send me, I can absolutely load them in. And I'll check with her to see if she's got any more that we can load in. But that is where some of the healthy recipes lie. Basically, what I had her make was some of the traditional things that you guys would bring to a party and give you a healthier version, or you would create for, because everything else is kind of easy to make. You know, stuffing is like, how the hell do I make stuffing healthy? You know, things like that. Like, how do I avoid the sugar and the cranberry and all of that kind of stuff? So she went in and she kind of just tweaked certain things. And people have made it before. They said they're really good. Was that helpful? Just knowing where to log in. You all don't look very excited, but apparently the pumpkin pie is amazing. And it's protein pumpkin pie.
And no, I'm excited about that. I definitely want to try to bake that.
And the cookies, I guess, are completely amazing as well. The chocolate hummus, Actually, I've done that. It's really freaking good. So if you have to bring a side for somebody, the chocolate hummus is really good. And to be honest with you, this is actually really good too. The chocolate pudding, I make that all the time with my protein powder. I just tweak it a little bit. But the hummus is pretty easy to make. So it is chickpeas, and then she's got peanut butter or almond butter in it, unsweetened cocoa, stevia, Himalaya salt and water. How freaking simple is that? Yeah, very easy. Take it to a holiday party. Bada bing, bada boom. I can't remember what she said. I think she gives you some examples of what to serve it with too. All right. And then I suppose the biggest learning is, holy shit, I didn't know I had all this stuff in here. All right. Yes. And guys, if you didn't know this while we're here, a lot of times I've been sending a lot of you guys here. So I have to, like, I'm trying to get some of this off of my back so I can do more of this, but more blogging. But these are a lot of my blogs that you guys might not know about. So some of them may not fit you, some of them may fit you, but these are blogs that I've done. Some of them you may have already gotten the emails on, some may be from the past. But this one right here, I've been sending out a lot lately. So this is meal prep and nutrition when traveling. It's like I've had to send this out to numerous people. It is very, very specific. But you will get lots of value out of it, even though it is dialed into me while I was competing. But I believe I was flying to London when I did it. So you're full on seeing how I maneuvered myself around the world while I was on prep. So while you may not have to take it to the extreme, the reason why I did it that way was because I left no nook or cranny undone. Like I didn't miss a beat. So this is how I believe I was on a plane, you know, I'm pretty sure this is when I went to when I was traveling back and forth to London. So like I'm 8 hours on a flight, like didn't miss a meal, didn't miss water, how I got there. Ooh. If you think I don't play the same game I tell you, if I don't practice what I preach. What time is it?
It's time to eat.
There you go. But so this is just some stuff that you guys might want to lean into. So if you didn't know that, my blog is there and I am going to start blogging more. I just haven't had the chance to. So don't miss out on that. All right. Everything else, like, oh, this is my favorite page. If you didn't know where that is, it's right. I mean, you guys pretty much have the link to it, but it's under Meet Your Coach. And that's where all my favorites are. So if you ever need these links, here you go. And those of you that are in Las Vegas, did you know that I have a discount code for buff cake? So those are protein. Oh,
I've never heard of buff cake.
oh,
Really?
guys, so Little Buff Cake. So I follow her. Okay, she's Buff Cake Las Vegas, LV. This should bring you, when you click shop now, it'll bring you right to her store. Oh, I so forgot about this. And you know what? Actually, if you're on here, she ships now too. I forgot. She makes protein everything. Protein cheesecakes, protein cookies, protein donuts, protein cake, protein pie. And I have a discount code with her. I completely forgot. And
My boyfriend already pulled it up on Instagram. He's like scrolling through.
yep. So if you click shop now, it will, oh, I might have to tweak that. This website is being, impersonated. Okay, well, it is, at least go to her, that's weird. I gotta tell her that. Hold on, guys. Wonder if she knows that. I don't have you in the photo, just that. So, but go to her website. So she's Buff Cake. You can see it right here. Buff Cake with a Z after it, LV. That's actually her Instagram page. If you message her there, she'll be super fast. And you can see a lot of her stuff there. But then just remember what my discount code is, because you can get 15% off your order. It's Jules and Fit, I believe, 15. So go there. But yeah, she makes everything, birthday cakes, like anything. And she's been like really expanding a lot. So there's probably a shit ton more that she does now. And to be honest with you, if you can think it up, she can probably make it for you. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. And like I said, she does ship, Jennifer Green. So anyway, if you're not a baker like me, actually I used to be a baker. All right, guys, any more questions? Are we good?
So good. Thanks, Jules.
You're welcome.
I was worried, so this helped a lot.
You were worried? Okay, don't worry. That's my number one rule. Okay, number one rule, we're not going to stress about this shit. And the last piece of advice, guys, I want you to say is, you know, feel free to reach out to me. You know what I mean? If you got a question, you know, if something's gone sideways, you know, reach out to me, let me know. And the best thing is to do it before it's happened versus after the fact, because after the fact, there's like you're in panic mode, okay? And it's really hard for me to back you out of it. I'm very successful at that. I'm successful at this week, but it's very much, it's a lot on me. So come to me, like, also, here's my ask too, because this is being recorded. Come to me also not with the problem. I'm challenging everybody in the tribe with this, but also the solution. Is that fair? Your solution might not be, are you telling no, Jackie? Or are you just looking both ways before you back out of the driveway?
Oh, I wasn't saying no. I was looking at this truck driving next to me. It's really dirty. Sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But is that fair, guys? So like think, and the reason why I say this is because it's almost a coaching opportunity. It's not necessarily because I really want you to put some thought into it. So if you've got something going on versus coming, I'm actually glad I had this opportunity to say this to you because it happens a lot. And so I really want to start being a little firmer with you guys. Come to me. Absolutely come to me. I'm your stinking coach and that's what I'm here to do. But not just with the obstacle. What's the solution? Put some thought behind it. Like, what could the solution be to this? Now, I may need to coach you on it, or this is what I think. This is what I'm, you know what I mean? And spin it in a positive way. You know, try to omit those negative words. And this is a challenge to you because it's a good way of you starting to maneuver through the mindset thing. Like as we move through the program and you're out on your own, right? You've got to start to be able to manage these mindsets and then have me come in and fine tune it a little bit. Make sense? So like looking at things. So the simplest way for me to do it is like, come to me with the struggle, the challenge. Shit, the wheels are falling off, Jules. And this is what I think I should do, but I'm not right sure. That's like the very big, the shit, the wheels are falling off. My world is just falling off. And I think I'm going to go jump out a window, which you very well may do. And that's okay. Right, Jennifer? Like, we won't be
Yep.
but you still had a very positive spin. You were a little panicky, but you were okay.
It was
So
fine.
if that
Everything
is
was
fair,
fine.
everything was fine. It was just a fair ask. So again, I don't anybody take this. So come to me, but just kind of think about things. And so, like I said, I overtalk that. But what I meant to say is like, if things happen, bumps come in the road during the holidays, reach out to me, try to give me a little bit of heads up. But anyway, that's how you're going to maneuver through the holidays. You want to fail to prepare, prepare to fail. So look ahead and recap of our conversation, look ahead and really analyze the events that you have to have. Number two, after you analyze the events, what are we looking at as we're putting them on our schedule? Who can tell me? We're going to look at all the events, and there's going to be some that are going to hit our calendar, and there might be some that we're like, oh,
Some are going to be important to us and some of them are not going to be as important and we can skip them or not eat or indulge when we're at those.
I like that. Not indulge where you're at them. Perfect. So the ones that mean a lot, those are the ones that are going to go on the calendar. Correct, Harleen? Correct. What's the third rule? Once we have planned, we know that we've prepared, we've got all the dates on our schedule for everything, even the ones that we're not going to really indulge in. And then the ones that we are indulged, we can color code if we want to. So then once we've customized the ones that we are going to indulge in, like what's the next step of that?
Make sure we eat all our meals.
Yep. And
Think about what brings you joy.
yes, yes, absolutely. What brings you joy? What do you really want? And don't sacrifice that. So basically, what I'm saying, Jennifer Dittman, who just said that, is if you love pumpkin pie, but you don't love apple pie, you're going to sacrifice the apple pie for the pumpkin pie, correct? Got it. Perfect. And we're going to eat all our meals. Thank you, Harleen. What else are we going to do?
We're gonna drink a glass of water after every cocktail we have if we do, and stick to lighter ones and less sugar.
Perfect. What do you got to add to that, Jennifer Green?
Yeah, I guess just all of our water and moderation, taste, enjoy.
Joy, I love that. That's the word I was looking for. Absolutely. All right, guys. So I'm hoping this was helpful for you all. I appreciate you all being here. This is recorded, so I will drop this. If I forget to, somebody remind me to drop this in the group. I have to wait for it to download. But thank you very much, guys, for coming. And I think we might have another one next Saturday, but I wanted to do this one so you guys were prepared for the holidays.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much.
Thank
This was
you.
helpful.
Good.
Yes,
You're welcome.
definitely.
Everyone, nice to see you.
Peace, ladies.
Bye, Jules.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.